Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. Let's get. All right, guys, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, this is The Ugly Side of Addiction. And welcome back to the channel also. Now, one thing I will say is I don't expect a lot of people are going to watch this video, but I'm hoping that this video helps someone because my life really was a mess at this time. And addiction will take you to places you don't want to go. And I'm going to share a story with you today in regards to that. Now, before I get into the story, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, smash that like button, drop a comment, share the video, and become a member. All these things help to support the channel. So I appreciate it if you do any of the above. Had business established really well in Orange County. In Anaheim, I had somebody in Rancho Cucamonga, I had somebody in Long Beach, and these were all trusted individuals where, I could float some credit to these guys and they were going to take care of business. But now I'm living in Hemet, and to be honest with you, Hemet was a tough crowd. When you talk about dangerous cities and stuff, a lot of times it's not one of the first cities you hear of, but Hemet was rough. They used to say that there were tweakers and old people in Hemet. And of course, I got into the tweaker community of Hemet. And I soon found myself surrounded by a bunch of skinheads. And, nothing against the skinheads, but they did things their way, and I did things my way. And to be honest with you, the hustle was off. I was trying to establish, but I had a monster habit. And to kind of give you an idea how I ended up in Hemet, I had got busted, and I ended up, once I got out, I ended up moving out there to kind of get away from things, but I was still there. And that was the main thing. I wasn't ready to quit yet. I wasn't ready to get clean. So I was trying to reestablish everything. And like I said, the hustle was off. And in trying to establish, my monster habit was still there. Like I definitely had a dealer's habit. I was using a lot. And, I tried copying from a few people out there, but like they didn't know me and the price wasn't right. So ultimately, I would end up, I would commute to San Bernardino where I knew I had a good plug, and I would pick up out there. But I had issues in San Bernardino as well. And honestly, like it just wasn't really working, like the connection was good, don't get me wrong, but trying to get out there and all of that stuff, like I had beef in San Bernardino. So the money wasn't adding up. I tried to establish with a few people that I could float a little bit of credit to, and nobody was coming through, or almost nobody, I should say. And the thing is, like, I couldn't just tax everyone, and some of these people really, I wasn't going to be able to tax them anyways. Like the skinheads in particular, because they had numbers, and I wasn't just going to go in there and grab their VCR or their TV or whatever without one hell of a fight. So, things were going downhill rapidly, and like I said, the money wasn't adding up. I was, using the product at an alarming rate, and like I couldn't tell the truth for shit, like everything out of my mouth was a lie. And like I got to the point where like I was getting emotional about stuff because, I didn't know where my life was going. Like I was a mess, big time. And
I was to the point where I was on the brink of just ending it with myself. Like I can't really say that word on YouTube, but uh, you know, I was had to be out of the place that I was in, and I was packing up my stuff, and I was drinking. And I've told this story before. I think it's Him at My Rock Bottom. You can go back and check that one out as well if you want more details on that. But yeah, I was drinking. I was, you know, on the brink of just not wanting to be alive anymore, and I'm sitting there with a water gun, if you will. Like I said, I got to watch what I say. YouTube don't like certain words, and I was getting drunk, and I was basically about to just end it. And I feel like God put a certain picture in front of me. It was, I'm going through things, and I run across a picture of my daughters. My son wasn't born yet at this time, and excuse me. So I see that picture, and I just break down like I'm a mess, and I'm thinking, what kind of coward would I be to just give up? Like what would I be telling my kids? That it's okay to just quit when things get a little tough. Things were more than a little tough, don't get me wrong, but you know, I just couldn't go out that way. So I concocted this brilliant idea in my head that, I won't do it myself. I'll burn these skinheads and they'll do it. And you know, people like my kids and stuff, they were still in San Bernardino at this time with their mother. And the stories will be told that, I died like a G and all of this stuff. Uh, but really, like that was just the sick, twisted, demented way of thinking, when you're, all cranked up on that stuff. And luckily, the skinhead that I did burn didn't do it. He caught me one night, and he had me out there all by myself in front of a hotel room with the thing on me. And I told him, just do it, bro. Just do it. And he didn't do it. Once again, I think my higher power was looking out for me because obviously I was too stupid to be thinking straight. But I would go on to, like I was wanted at this time in LA. I hadn't caught my case in uh, Riverside yet, but I was doing these empty envelope deposits in San Bernardino and Redlands, actually, at a certain bank. I won't say the name of the bank, but what I was doing was those deposit envelopes that they had. Uh, I was just cutting paper out that was the size of money so that when I fed it into the machine thought there was money there. And believe me, this scam can't be done anymore. Like there's when I go deposit money in the bank now, like there's usually a hold for so long before they'll allow you to withdraw any money. But at that time, that stuff hadn't really been figured out by the banks, and I would I did it on a holiday weekend, so it was Friday after hours, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday morning after hours. So for 5 days, I was stuffing empty envelopes into these ATMs and then withdrawing my limit for the day. So like I came up on like 5 grand over these days, and there was nothing in the envelopes. And I thought to myself, like, these are definitely going to be federal charges. And not only am I already looking at prison time, but now, I'm going to be adding some federal charges to the deal. And luckily for me, it didn't end up being that way. When I would go on to get busted in San Jacinto, and like I said, this is all in the story, Him at My Rock Bottom. So you can check that out if you want more details. But I was on a bicycle, just down and out, like wasn't riding in a car no more, nothing. And I was staying with this guy by San Jacinto High School, and I was going down to the AMPM. I think I think that's the Ramona Expressway right there. I could be wrong. Drop a comment down below if I am wrong on that, and let me know. But I was riding a bicycle 2 in the morning, heading to the Arco down there to get a pack of cigarettes, and sheriff ended up pulling me over after a brief chase, and I had something in my sock, so I caught a possession charge in Riverside. Well, San Bernardino was looking for me as well now for these empty envelope deposits, and LA County wanted me for a probation violation because I never checked in. That was a common occurrence with me when I was using. But so I'm figuring, like, I'm looking at some time. I'm probably going to do a couple years in state, and then the Fed's probably going to want me for the messing with the banks type of thing. But luckily, it didn't end up being all that. They ended up getting me for, I believe they called it false pretenses to obtain cash. And the funny thing is, the public pretender that came to see me on that case said normally this case is a wobbler. It could be a misdemeanor or a felony, but because you're already a convicted felon, it's just going to be a felony. And I'm like, how the hell does that work? You know what I mean? Like, that don't make any sense. I guess it's progressive though. And I ended up with, I think I didn't get much time in Riverside that time, because like I just got caught with a small amount. It was like a simple possession. Then I went to San Bernardino. They gave me a county lid, so I ended up doing a year over there. And then I went back to LA County Jail, and they gave me like a 6-month violation or something. But like I was really caught up in the mix with all of this stuff, and I was doing a lot of things that completely go against my morals and that showed no integrity whatsoever. Like not being able to tell the truth. That's terrible. Like I go out of my way to tell the truth now because I don't want to practice those types of behaviors. So, excuse me. So, yeah, that's my story for the day. I hope somebody hears this story and it makes them realize that you don't have to go down the same path that I did. It don't have to get as bad for you as it did for me. I was basically homeless. I was stealing from the bank. Like I was doing all of these things that are just horrible, and I'm lucky to be alive, to be honest with you. But I wanted to share that story with you guys, and just remember, family, fitness, and freedom are the things that help me to get my life back together, and they can help you as well. I read a good quote the other day. It said, if the people in your circle are holding you back, they're not your circle, they're your cage. Think about that one for a minute. You want to surround yourself with people that have similar goals to what you have. If your goal is sobriety and everybody around you is using, then they're your cage, and you're going to continue to use. So, surround yourself with people that are doing the kind of things that you want to do, and more than likely, that's what you will do. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. If you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you like the story, hit that like button. If you didn't like the story, hit the thumbs down. Either way, though, drop a comment and let me know what you think. And share the video. It really helps to grow the channel to grow. Also, become a member. This is one of the best ways to support the channel, and I can use all the support I can get. We are continuing to grow, though, and I salute all of you for that. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos. It is mind-blowing to me how many people have subscribed already. So, and we're one of the smaller channels, quite honestly, on YouTube. Don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.